Welcome back to episode 151 of Who Should You Choose? I hope everyone's having a good day at work or wherever you partake listening to these videos. Again, the fact that we're over 150 is absolutely wild. That being said, let's get into this big question day. I just want to get right into the comments and see if I can't answer as many as possible. So again, we're going to sort by the most liked. And we've got quite a few that have a bunch of likes. So Gord says, I appreciate you acknowledging a perspective outside of your preference. I feel seen. Thanks. No problem, man. And now about Brock Boeser. His transaction card. Nope, not in Team of the Week either. I thought you were hinting in the video because you had heard. Nope, just left guessing like everyone else. Please, EA, this isn't that hard. Ask who are the dozen who signed the largest contracts on free agent day. Make those cards. Then on the next day, do the next dozen. I'm with you, man. Like, I'm not a big Brock Boeser guy. I thought there was a chance that the Sharks might get him, and I didn't want that. But that being said, it makes no sense because he is one of the bigger players, and he did re-sign a contract. Now, someone in another video said, I don't understand about the Brock Boeser thing because, the transactions were for players that changed teams. But then they released the Ekblad, the Marchand, and Bennett for re-signing with the Cup champions. Now, obviously, they made it where it was like, this is the Cup re-signed Cup champions, but they're in Vancouver. Like, they have to know, you know what I mean? Like, they have to know. I'm not really sure. It seems very simple. A big contract was signed. It's hard to find, like, relevant and not just completely random players to just release. I also think that, for whatever reason, Vancouver has not had a good season. But Vancouver Canucks, like, fans, I feel like in terms of, like, being able to make a theme team, the Canucks were one of the worst this year. And the Sharks had it bad last year, deservingly so. This year, the Sharks had, like, the best theme team in going into December. It was actually insane. But so that ebbs and flows of that change year to year. But it's crazy because Vancouver has so many decent players, including the cover athlete. All right, Gord also follows it up with, wildcard rewards being collectibles is a great thing. It is what the majority wanted and missed from NHL 24. The ability to choose which reward packs we wanted. See, this is like a hot take because there's a comment coming up here that would say the complete opposite. And this is why I like doing these videos and taking the feedback from the community because you kind of get all aspects and sides. The issue here is technically, yes, you get to pick the reward you want. However, it is lazy. Like, I preferred when you got a bit of X Factor team builder icon. And if they did that all year and then mixed in some other things, I think we would have... Those cards are not great. Don't get it twisted. But it just feels like more... Let me know your thoughts on this. Like, did the wildcard collectible thing in the current state what would be your ideal wildcard rewards? Let me know. Okay. Trobot says, I'm an offline player that plays wildcard online. It is fun and quick. Yes, I actually do win more than in Rivals. Winning is rare in Rivals, so I just quit that mode. I'd usually make champs 1 to 2 times a year, so I'm happy champs suck so bad this year. I don't feel like I'm missing out at all. The at all part is probably why so many good players and others don't bother. Yes, that is 100% the reason. Yeah, and like I said, I think wildcard is a good job for offline players. I wish I could see the data on how many people are offline players compared to online, because wildcard, it tries to do both, and I think it does both very, very mediocre. I feel like I've said this all year. I think it lacks an identity. It wants to be an online mode, but it's for offline players. It can be offline. It just doesn't. It didn't decide. You know what I mean? It didn't decide. In my opinion, I think Squad Battles needs an overhaul. I think in NHL 20, when was the first year of Squad Battles? 21, 20? God, they all blend together. I have a video like every year going over what I would do for Squad Battles. I said turn it into franchise mode, right? And if they did that and made it a mode really engaging for offline players, you could get away from... I don't want to say... I'm trying to say this correctly. you could get away from having to cater so much to offline players because online players. No, see, like, is it? This is where I don't know. I don't know the player base because it sounds like I'm saying screw the offline players, and that's not it. I'm just thinking wild card, in my opinion, should be for the more casual online player. That's what I want. That's what I'm trying. Wild card, in my opinion, should be a place for casual online players that also, if they get a little hint of competitiveness as well, it should be a mode where you can earn decent rewards without having a stacked team. They give you a team, right? That's the advantage of wildcard is it should be a mode where I can't play all the time. I'm half decent at the game. I can just go play wildcard and make up for what I'm missing in rivals by building a team and do it slowly there. The other big problem with wildcard is EA being lazy about the rewards. Giving every level just event collectibles is so lazy. Give packs or interesting cards. This is what you guys don't see as a creator. When we have like takes and things like that, I go through and I don't respond to all my comments in my videos, but I go and look at them. And this is why it's so hard to give feedback to EA or any game developer, right? This got 16 likes. This is clearly the majority thought process, and I'm with you on this one. I think it is very lazy. I'm trying to think. Okay, here is what I wanted to say about this in terms of wildcard this year. Wildcard, I said the other day that it should have been online focused and with great rewards. So you tried to go on a win streak. If you got to 7 wins without losing a game, then you got a massive pack. I'm talking like guaranteed. I don't want to say master set level player. It could have been untradeable. You can't give it tradable. Or it could be a tradable 85 and above at launch of the game, and then it scales up, right? Something where you could earn a lot, and it's hard to do. Like a lot of competitive, it's where competitive players would live before and after their Hut Champs run. Okay. And the problem is because they made it so offline. And again, I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do. Again, I think that there's a lot of people that enjoy wildcard that are only offline players, and I think it does bridge the gap well. You can't give great rewards in a mode that is all offline. In a mode like Ultimate Team. I'm not talking about just NHL. I'm talking about any game. I saw this with MLB the last 2 years, okay? The last 2 years, they switched to where basically you had to grind so much offline content, which is awesome. It's cool that there's a lot of it, right? Where online players were literally spending more time offline than online. And that's the delicate balance you have to navigate, right? So if they made wildcard unbelievable rewards, I guess technically if they made it first goal wins, that'd be something. But you would just do that and then not play rivals. I'm trying to think of motivation, like player motivation. If the rewards were sick, and like, what does that mean? Like, what is packs are interesting cards? What does that mean? What level? Let's do launch, okay? Or no, give me an example for right now because we can see it. So 97 overall MSPs. Give me the example now. I'd love to hear in the comment section. What do you think the wildcard reward pass should be? And then I want you to answer this question to yourself. Would it be too easy to acquire all of the card, or would wildcard be too easy at that point? I don't mind the pull. I don't mind the pull the goalie mechanic, but I think it needs to change that to you can't pull your goalie until overtime or overtime 2 or something like that. When I'm having a game where we countering each other repeatedly, spending 4 or 5 games worth of time on the same game for 1 game's worth of rewards is deflating. This is the problem, man. So I'm trying to solve. The problem I hear, Lift, in this statement is not that they should figure out a way to make the game end quicker. It's why do you want the game to end quicker? That's what I'm trying to solve, right? Like, that's my motivation for feedback to the devs and my opinions on the game. The rewards should be secondary, not far behind. But the first thing should be, I want to get on, I want to play the game. And part of the joy of Ultimate Team is building your team. There's a lot of people that spend $1,000 in the game that are offline players. You would be blown away. And they just like building a team. I totally get that. But if you want to go that route, you should be able to do that by being free to play and just playing the game. But that being said, I think the major issue is that why aren't we having fun playing the game? Right? Like overtime or overtime 2 should be thrilling, but it's not because the rewards aren't that great and it's an offline mode sort of, or it's a offline, it caters to the offline a little bit too much. So the rewards aren't very high. So you don't really care about, there's no big stakes. Hut champs, wins and losses. All games matter. Problem is that at 10 wins, a lot of people just stop. They had it fixed last year where you just got an extra collectible for every win, and that was valuable. And they decided to go away from it. But that's what needs to happen is you need to give motivation for wins so that you enjoy it more. I've always liked Wildcard. I treat it like an entry-level Rivals because I found Rivals intimidating. Now Wildcard could be better. I detest the mascots. Oh my god. Is there anyone in my community that enjoys the Wildcard being mascots, man? I'm old. I'm like old man yells at clouds, but good lord, I can't stand the mascot thing. I just want to play something like real guys. I want to play something that mimics real hockey so bad that I almost wish we couldn't play cards out of position. I'm talking like play like real hockey. Left wing, right wing, right wing. You know, like not switch everyone because they're on opposite hands. Now, I know that's way over the top and it's Ultimate Team, so you should be able to build a team the way you want. But like I'm very sim-based where I want something that mimics hockey. What my grind to Division 1, I have not used L2. I refuse to do the L2 glitch because it's not something that happens in real life. The mascot thing, I don't know. I hope it is improved. I'm old and I can never tell which mascots are mine. I hope it is improved the way you mentioned sleeves and not scrapped. Going back to Hut Rush is not the answer. Yeah, like I mentioned, guys, from my time, not even in EA, like as a game changer. Over the last 7 years of making content, this is what happens. EA comes out with a new mode. They work on a dev cycle and they do a brand new mode or something that is different, right? And then it doesn't get touched for 3 to 4 years. And then they're like, well, no one's playing it anymore. Canceled. Like, this is what happens all the time. Because I understand the dev cycle. It took a lot to get Wildcard in. I know that for a fact because I used to speak to the devs that were working on it. And getting Wildcard in, my fear is that they're just going to, they got Wildcard. What do you mean? We don't need new stuff. They don't need to fix it. Wildcard's good. Like, bro, we just did this with Hut Rush. Hut Rush could have been sick. Even when I first saw it, I was like, this has potential. And they just didn't improve it. Didn't put dev resources into improving it. And that's a major issue to me. I don't know. It has nothing to do with age, in my opinion. Like, half the time I'm saying which mascots are mine. Dude, infuriating. I get that, like, it's, like, fun, whatever. But, man, it's hockey. I want to be competitive. That's it. I'm way too competitive. My dog is losing her mind. My pets in these videos recently have just hated me recording videos. So, New to Guitar says, Wildcard should have an extra level or mode after you complete the regular route. The extra mode should be a playoff series where you have to use cards that you select using any of the players from that week's MSP event. And if the event is 2 or 3 weeks, any of those as well. The reward should be really good, like the winner of the playoffs gets a choice of 2 MSPs, and one would be account-bound. The runner-up gets an account-bound card, and Final 4 gets 1 account-bound MSP. And anyone who makes Final 8 gets a choice pack for one of the lower event cards that are 1 or 2 below the MSP. The extra playoff mode should begin as soon as the new event drops and last the entire duration of the event, with at least 1 finals being played within each week of the event. I love, like, one of the best things about hockey is the playoffs. And I would love, Madden I think does this. I don't play Madden a lot anymore, but they'll do like, their Rivals is essentially like, you play a season and then you make the playoffs, right? Like you start a new season. I think if you get to like 7 wins before losing 2, you're in the playoffs. And then you've got to win 4 straight games to win the Super Bowl, right? Or 3 straight games, whatever it is, right? I would love something like that. I would love something like that. As opposed to, again, it's about the D-ranking in Rivals highlights an issue that I cannot stand, and that is people don't care about winning. Oh God, I'm trying to say this the right way. People should care about winning more than it appears they do, because not because they are bad at the game and all of that. I'm saying the players that are good, that have no interest in playing like skilled players because they just want the rewards, infuriates me. Because it's like, where's the pride in that? And I get it's a video game. You're just looking for the path of least resistance. But good Lord, man. I think that Rivals, it would stop the tanking of Rivals if there was something like this that replaced it. So I'm with you on that. A lot of hot takes here. I'm curious to see the response in this video. I'm trying to come up with... It's hard to... I don't edit these. Like, I don't change my ideas and things like that. I kind of give you my raw answer on these. And I've really been all over the place today, so I do apologize. Wildcard is low-key kind of fun when it's 3-on-3 with real players. It's just the rewards are so bad I barely play it. I don't mind 3-on-3 like overtime. I think that's interesting. Get rid of 3-on-3 overtime in Rivals. Like, I want continuous overtime. I wish that was the case in Rivals. 3-on-3 has a spot. Like, I think that it is fun. It is exciting. It can be. I think shootout should be involved. I'm gonna bang that drum until they put it in. Shootout mode in Hut. Like, just make it happen. Really good video. Your point about the endurance on fantasy is spot on. It's built in redundancy, but only in that specific area. Same reason why they gatekeep Team of the Season and Team of the Year overalls. They want you to stay for the long haul grind instead of reaping instant rewards by having a lock in your lineup player all year. 100%. The biggest change from the content team, from the new one, from the old regime, is that the old content team was like, here are the staple big events. We're going to protect these. They are going to be sought after cards that when people get them, they know and can trust that they're going to be great cards all year. They're going to cost 1 billion coins, and that's it. The cost didn't change with the new content team, but the trying to undo that set it and forget it is, and I do like that to an extent. Come out and say it. Come on, like, at the start of this year, regain trust of the community and say, here is how Team of the Week cards are going to work. Star of the Month, you literally just stopped doing it. Like, you just forgot that it was there. Gone. Game breakers happen randomly. Like, X Factors, we're not going to upgrade those regularly, and the endurance isn't going to change. Like, power up icons, same situation. Just come out and say, hey, our focus is on... even if they said, we want you to pay attention and partake in the events, and the year-long chase cards or the cards that'll be there all the time, those will have value, but they're more for the player that is a fan of that specific player. Like, Alfredson is there for Sens fans, right? That, like, I would respect that, and I think it would go a long way in the community. The fact that time sets all this year goes to show they want to push the constant promo cycle with those wanting instant gratification. They're pushed to the store to make MSP pull for exclusive items, 100%. From someone who spent thousands of hours every year playing Ultimate Team game modes, and Hut is still so poorly managed, it's crazy. Keep fighting the good fight, slaves. We can only hope they get there. I'm with you on all of this. This is 100% why a lot of the changes have happened. Like I said, I think the old content team, they had figured it out, but we had essentially the same cycle in every event, every big event for like 7 years. I can appreciate the wanting to do stuff different, because if you go back to NHL 22, I am sure that we all complained about something about the content. 23, same thing. This was a lot of change for the sake of change, and all I'm hoping, from the XP path to the random events that had crazy ability costs being free, all of that. I hope they just learned from all of the stuff that they did, and we start to see some ironing out. I want to see the content team, which in my opinion was a level 1, level up. If this is their first full year of doing content and they just tried a bunch of stuff, let's level up. Take what you learned, take all the data that you have in the background. They can see what sets we have done and how many it's been done. And you see it all the time. I use this example, guys. Team builders were not being made at the beginning of the year. 3 weeks into the game, they're like, yo, you know what would be sweet? A team builder pack in the store that's actually worth the coins. The best way to make a team builder this year was literally waiting for them to drop a pack in the store. When has that ever been a thing? Never. Because they can see, oh shit, no one's making team builders. We should probably put, they can see what sets are being done. So I just hope that they take the time to do that. So, okay, last one. I loved this question. I'm surprised you like fantasy so much, but not 99 Hut. The rush of Ultimate Team is them going to 99 overall. I know it has the real life performance tied in, but we still want the 99 card. Even if they sit at 96, 97, or even 98, it just doesn't hit the same. For a couple reasons this year specifically, because speed was taken out of the equation of overall, it killed fantasy cards if they did not hit 99. That had never happened in the past. Like Sebastian Repo's card at 98 overall having 91 speed is absurd, right? Like that's why it had to be 99. Like the card had to get to 99. I have Fabian Zetterlund and Matthew Nyes at 98 overall. They don't make my team. 98 overall don't make my team because they took speed out of the overall equation. The reason this is the delicate balance, and I've realized this over the last few days talking about 99 Hut. Fantasy is so good because it ties in the real thing. I think the problem is we were so starved for real life content because we didn't have prime times. Team of the week was 6 player items, and half the time it didn't make any sense. Austin Matthews got 3 cards all year. Like it was so many alumni because they stopped doing power up icons. They're like, oh man, we got to give these cards out throughout the game. And it's like, man, we don't want this much. We want live while the season's going on. Anyways, that being said, fantasy, they did so well. The World Juniors, like ASP. I was watching Sweden World Junior games. I got to tell you, man, I haven't done that since I was like 18 years old when I just couldn't stop watching hockey and I had all the time in the world, right? Playoff fantasy, all of it was great. I said they should double down on fantasy and make it where it's not just goals, it's fantasy. So shots on goal, like you get a block, you get a guy who every time he gets 10 block shots goes up an overall. Every time someone gets 5 penalty minutes, an enforcer fantasy goes up. Like it's fantasy hockey. All the things that happen in fantasy hockey make cards that work like that in Hut for the upcoming year. But you run the risk of everyone having 99 overall cards. Colton Parayko has not left my team since he's been there. That's the joy of the fantasy event because you call your shot. If we go back and watch my fantasy video, that actually might be fun to do. Maybe that's a fun exercise we do. We go back and look at who you thought was going to be a good card and who ended up being it. And what's crazy is if you look at the ratio of cards that hit 99 and that didn't, there's almost always the same amount. It's crazy. Well, this year's a bit different because there were so many more fantasy cards. But I don't like 99 Hut, but I love the fact that there can be an outlier. I remember when fantasy first got introduced into the game by my man Nick back in NHL 20. There was a James Neal. James Neal popped off for like 10 goals in like a 3-week stretch and just shot up so high that I think he got to 99 first, or he got to very high and I think maybe got stuck. But that being said, the dev, like Nick, he said he wanted that. He wanted one card where someone had to shoot their shot, and it was so far and away better than all the other ones. That's the fun. The Colton Parayko, the Matt Duchene, the Jordan Kyrou, those outlier, the Pavel Minchikov, Oliver Bonk, like those are so fun to every year to see in the game. But it is a delicate balance because when you get a team that when you get hardcore players, they're just like all events I don't care about. Anytime they release fantasy, that's where all of my resources are going. I bet you any money people are gonna stop trading in their stuff for team of the year and team of the season, and they're gonna wait for playoff fantasy or World Junior fantasy or fantasy event at the beginning of the season. That's my guess for next year. But that's gonna do it for this episode of Who Should You Choose. Thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. So excited to see how that plays out. Have a good one, guys.